T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
Two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Morning, everyone. You know how this goes by now. Yep, it's me. It's my laptop. It's the usual nonsense. Yeah, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to switch over to my laptop now. Bear with me a moment. Apologies. Not the way I wanted to start this show. Pimp said oil everywhere. Yeah, or maybe me throwing a laptop at the wall and starting a fire.
Should we start that again, everyone? Good morning and welcome to that morning meetup show, which is now afternoon because, you know, it was meant to start, but my laptop did what it did. But welcome, everyone. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you smash the like button. Kvaratskhelia updates. Kvaratskhelia updates. Speaks about Chiesa and Harvey Elliott rumours about him potentially leaving the club. Few things to discuss. Obviously we got to start with the Kvaratskhelia news, right? So yesterday Ornstein broke the news. Obviously I went live, you know it was going to happen. I went live, we spoke about it, and we're here now. We're absolutely here now. And how am I feeling about it now? I'm 50-50 on whether it's going to happen. Look, I'm over the moon that we've been linked with him. But it's 50-50 on whether this is going to happen. Now, I think why I'm excited about this is because we're actually linked with a player, and seriously linked with a player who I consider to be one of the best in the world in his position. And I'm going to be serious. Obviously, I was laughing and jokey last night, etc. But I'm going to be serious about it now. It could be a game changer for us, this signing. However, I don't want us to gloss over what else needs to be done. The 3 contracts need to be sorted out. DM or a social media or a centre midfielder. So I'm reading the comments, or a centre midfielder. and a centre back who can play left back or a left back. We need those issues sorted. We need to get those things sorted. But also, it's massive. It's a massive, massive coup if we get this. Now, the updates for today are that PSG are seriously linked with him as well. However, they are not able to pay the 80 million euro price tag. And this is why the Premier League teams are starting to circle now. This is why the likes of us and Chelsea have been linked with him, because we are going to start looking at this option because we can afford it. We can afford it. Let's just be real. We can afford to do this. So if we can afford to do this, why not do it? Why not just do it? Because he represents a game changer for us. And look, I understand we've got a lot of players who can play on the left-hand side. A lot. But if he was to come to the club, and I mean this with no disrespect to Gakpo or Diaz, he is the best left winger we have, in my opinion. For anyone asking about yesterday's video as well, we got hit with a copyright strike when we played the highlights of his skills and etc. It is typical YouTube. We have been targeted a lot by YouTube, and we got a copyright strike. So we are editing that video so that it can go back live and so people can watch it. But yeah, it's very frustrating when these things happen. But we move and we keep on going. But yeah, if PSG aren't able to get this over the line, I don't see why we can't make this happen. Because we should be able to. We don't spend a massive amount of money. We're not in any financial debt. And if Napoli want Chiesa, who I'll speak about in a sec, and we want to offload Chiesa, we need a replacement to come in, then there aren't many better players that we can go and get. But it just means what happens to the right-hand side, because Salah's backup was meant to be Chiesa and he would have gone. I don't see Kvara playing on the right-hand side for us. So maybe it would be Diaz who covers all three positions. But then if Jota goes down with an injury, then what happens there? Because that means Gakpo is going to be playing a lot. So it's a difficult one. I don't think it's an impossible deal, though, because he's on low wages and we know what the price is. The only thing that could be an issue is if teams like Chelsea and others come in and Man United and try and blow us out of the water with bids. But if they're smart, they'll either bid slightly more or the same and then see if the player makes up their mind. But Napoli will try and sell to the highest bidder. So I'm going to keep an eye on this for obvious reasons, because he's a player that I rate highly. And then we go from there. So obviously we've spoken at length about Kvaratskhelia last night, which that video will go back up within an hour or so, people. I want to speak about another topic, and that is Chiesa. And Arne Slot has some quotes about Chiesa today in his press conference that I just want to read out, because again, I think this is quite important, hearing what Arne Slot, because there's been so many different theories about Chiesa. I've had some myself, and it's such a difficult situation to read. However, this is what Arne Slot has said about Chiesa. He said, every game is a chance for every player to get some playing time. It's not only for him being difficult in terms of match fitness. It's also that he has to compete with the likes of Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Darwin Núñez, and Mo Salah. He says everybody here knows the numbers Mo Salah brings in. There's not many times a reason to take him out during the game or before a game. Also because he's so fit. I've said many times he was the fittest player that came in preseason, and he does everything every single day to keep his match fitness and wants to play every single game. That we'll have to chop up that quote separately, because again, just because he wants to play every minute doesn't mean he should play every minute. But I digress. He shows up every single game. It's not only about Federico when we're talking about him being limited in playing time. It's also about the others. But in terms of Federico, it definitely has to do with the way he came in. The rest were already training a lot, and we had to bring him up to terms of match fitness. It's a combination of reasons why he didn't play that much yet. But let's wait and see in the coming weeks and months if he's able to help us, because the second season is even more important than the first. Guys, that doesn't sound positive to me. It really doesn't. And maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. It doesn't sound very good to me. That to me sounds like he's not happy with his fitness levels and he is so far down in the pecking order, it's unreal. The fact that he says we'll see about the second half of the season because it's even more important than the first half and he's barely played in the first half suggests to me it's not great. And Kieran Jarvis, you could be right. Slot's just saying this to keep his price high potentially, or his value up. Because if he comes out and says he's not like his value diminishes, similar to why we got him for so cheap. This notion of he's trying to build up his match fitness still, you build up match fitness by playing matches. You build up match fitness by playing minutes. You can't build up match fitness on the training pitch. You can build up your physical fitness on the training pitch, but not match fitness. Because a training session is not going to replicate or be the exact same as a match situation. There is no crowd there. There is no players flying into tackles. So I don't get this, but it doesn't look good to me at all. And if this is the reason why we're out of Kvaratskhelia, because Atalanta do want Chiesa, then it makes sense why we're trying to do it. So for me, I don't see Chiesa staying past January. And I'm saying this as a Chiesa fan. I wanted Chiesa at Liverpool since 2020. Say this as a fan, but I don't see it happening, which is such a shame. And I know Drift alluded to this yesterday on the show. It is a real shame because the guy is quality on his day. He's absolutely brilliant on his day. But what can you do? What can you do? If he's not working out, it's better to get rid of him now rather than hold on to him and nothing happens. I think tomorrow will provide a lot of answers. If he's not in that starting lineup and he doesn't play, I don't know what to say. Joseph, I just want to confirm my 2 oldest are at school. That is Alonso, who's actually standing up and banging on the door, and she's now got her hands on something. Yep, she's ripping stuff in. Yeah, guys, I keep on saying this to you, but no one really believes me. When I say pray for me or help me, you guys think I'm just being cow, just bantering and stuff. These kids are destroying me, guys. Like that. I'm basically the lone centre back, and I'm playing against prime Bobby Firmino, Mo Salah, and Sadio Mane. And they don't care about scoring goal. They just want to embarrass me. So they just keep passing the ball around me. They keep passing the ball around me, and I'm slipping. And every time the pass goes to one person, the crowd go ole. Help me. Help me. Not to mention my laptop. You saw imagine you go to start a show and your laptop just goes like that and says, nah, not yet, big man. You'll start when I tell you to start. That's what's happening right now. So the attack of Stevie, Robbie, and Alonso is just impenetrable, but my laptop is also on another level as well. So pray for me, guys. But yeah, I think we'll learn a lot more. If Chiesa's not in a starting lineup against Accrington Stanley, I really don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. And speaking on that as well, Slot did say that Szoboszlai and Kwanzaa will be both available for that game as well. So that is really good news. I expect Szoboszlai to get some minutes. And this is why I also think Chiesa might not start, because I think he might go Szoboszlai in the 10, Harvey Elliott on the right, and maybe go Nunes or Dan's on the left. I'd be shocked if Chiesa starts. After the comments today, I'll be shocked if Chiesa starts. I really would be. But I hope he does start. It'd be nice for him to stay. If you give me a choice between Chiesa and Kvaratskhelia, I'm taking Kvaratskhelia. But if we keep Chiesa, then I It's happened again. It's happened again. Callum's laptop. It's happened again. It's happened again. It's happened again. Callum's laptop. It's happened again. Okay. On to Harvey Elliott, guys. Our star boy. Many of us love Harvey Elliott. Many of us rate Harvey Elliott highly. Many of us were pleading and begging for Harvey Elliott to come back from injury to displace Dominic Szoboszlai in the team. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to be rushed back from injury. Fortunately, he wasn't rushed back from injury, but unfortunately, his injury was so bad that he wasn't available while Dominic Szoboszlai was out of form. Now, the moment he comes back, it seems like Szoboszlai hits form, so you don't take him out of the team then. But he's another one, not been getting much game time, and he's been available for selection since, I think, the 20th of November or around that period. We're now almost in the middle of January, and if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't started a game. He's barely got any minutes, and he didn't even come on against Spurs the other night. And then rumors circulate yesterday that Brighton and Borussia Dortmund are both looking at Harvey Elliott. I think it's either Jamie or K-Mac, or might even have been Lakers, who said to me they have a sneaky feeling that Slot doesn't rate Elliott as highly as we do. And I said, nah, look at pre-season. And Harvey was excellent pre-season. Harvey's been excellent for Liverpool for most of his tenure here. But then look at Fabio Carvalho in pre-season. Doing really well. What happened? Boom, sold. See you later. And look, this is where it's really difficult to be a fan. And this is why it's so difficult sometimes to shut off that emotion. Harvey Elliott is living a dream that most of us would love to live. He's a young man playing football for the club that he loves, and he's doing well and has a bright future ahead of him. Has his head on his shoulders, good head on his shoulders, and he looks like he's destined for great things. But at Liverpool, I asked a genuine question, and I'm saying this as someone who wants Harvey Elliott to stay at the club for a long, long time. But a genuine question, guys. Can we upgrade on Harvey Elliott? In fact, I'll make it a little bit more specific. Does someone like Kvaratskhelia or Shirky start ahead of Elliott if they're all fit and firing? And the question is probably yes. And if you are looking at this from a financial package perspective and you can get more for Elliott than you'd have to pay for Shirky, and Shirky's effectively the better player right now, and they're both around a similar or same age, it's a hard decision to make, but it might be a decision that you have to make. Now, granted, I don't want Elliott to leave. I think there's other players in the squad who should be leaving before Harvey Elliott. I may have to buy a new laptop because I might throw this one against the wall. Might throw it against the wall. As I was saying, or maybe just maybe, Elliott goes on loan for a season or two, gets some more playing minutes, and then we assess things. But either way, it's a difficult situation. I hope we don't sell him. But at the same time, if we're going to upgrade on him, then why keep him around? Why let him get barely any minutes because of us just wanting to keep him there? I don't know, man. I really don't know how to judge this one with Harvey Elliott because it is a tough one. I think he was so good last season, and if I'm going to be honest, if it was up to me and I was the manager, and this is why I'm not the manager ahead of someone like Slot, obviously, Elliott would have been my starting number 10 this season, in the same way Kwanzaa was the starting centre-back this season. And then I'd have taken him out if he wasn't performing. I think he did everything towards the end of last season and in pre-season to get a start. So it was a bit of a surprise when Szoboszlai got the start against Ipswich in the first game of the season. And obviously he didn't play great in that first half. And obviously people will start to question him again. And then Dominic still didn't pick up his form, but then Elliott gets injured. Then Szoboszlai is almost allowed to play himself into form because there's no one else there. It's such a tricky one, man. It's such a tricky one. So I asked you guys, would you do it? If the option was we have to move Harvey Elliott on to go and get someone like Shirky, or if it's Kvaratskhelia who can play in the 10, would you do it? Not because you dislike the player, not because you don't love Harvey Elliott. I love Harvey Elliott. He's one of my favourite Liverpool players. But would you do it? And also, does he suit Slot's system? Genuine question. Genuine question. Today might be the update. Today might be the day I upgrade the apple juice to something a bit more hardcore. It might be, you know. Does he have the attributes needed to play in Slot's system? The talent is unquestionable with Harvey Elliott. The talent is absolutely unquestionable, but does he have the attributes to play in a Slot system? That is the real question. Because you can be talented, you can be fantastic, but if you can't play in the system, then it's not necessarily going to work. We help some of these supers. James says Elliott plus cash for Belabor. I don't think we're putting up that sort of money that it's going to cost for Belabor, to be honest. Sean P. Casey says the lineup Tom will tell us all. Lineup tomorrow will tell us all FSG out. Yeah, I hear that. I think Elliott does play tomorrow, though, because I don't think we're actively trying to get rid of him or sell him. So I think if someone comes in with a bid and he goes, yeah, I think it might be time for me to move on, then I don't think we'll stand in his way. But I don't think we actively want to or are trying to sell him. I don't think that's the case with Chiesa. I don't know if we're trying to actively sell Chiesa, but I definitely think he's on the market. I know that sounds like a little bit of a contradiction, but I think teams know that if you're going for Chiesa, I don't think Liverpool are going to stand in your way. Whereas with Elliott, I don't think he's on the market. But if a bid comes in and he says, yeah, I wouldn't mind going there, then I think it would happen. So we will see. We will see. It could be a lot of change this January. Again, I don't know if we'll sign anyone this January. I still don't expect the contracts to go through either. I still, unfortunately, believe that all three of those guys go for one reason or another. But this is a crazy world we live in, and we've been here before. Up until yesterday, I didn't think we'd have any chance of getting Kvaratskhelia. I didn't even think we'd look at Kvaratskhelia. Now look. Had Robbie and Stevie shouting Kvaratskhelia at the top of their lungs yesterday. My neighbor I bumped into today was like, was everything all right yesterday? I heard loads of shouting. I was like, Kvaratskhelia might be coming. He's a football man as well. He knows the situation. Time will tell, guys. I think a lot will be revealed in the next few days. Chiesa will have a bit more validity and concrete evidence in that situation. The Elliott situation, I think, will unravel, and the Kvara situation, I think, will unravel as well. So, people, look, I'm going to end it here because my laptop's just on one. I will be live on the Sanderson Show in about 15 minutes with a little MMA roundup for Fight Friday. So please do join me there. On the road to 4,000 subs there as well. So please do help me to get there. And we are on the road to 35,000. Sorry, yeah, 35,000 subs here as well. So if you haven't, do smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And the video from yesterday will be re-uploaded very, very soon. So please sit tight, people. We'll be back on Big Up tomorrow morning at tomorrow afternoon at 12 midday for the Accrington Stanley FA Cup match, and then back here straight after the game for the live match reaction. So make sure you join us, guys. I keep on stressing it. If you haven't signed up to Big Up or you don't watch our watch alongs on Big Up, you're missing out, guys. And there are so many more things to come on Big Up. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. But people, enough love to you all. Thank you all for your support. Thanks for rocking with us this week. Big up to everyone who joined the show yesterday. It was a real vibe, man. We had almost 2,000 of you guys watching at one point. Shout out to everyone, man. And yes, till I see you all tomorrow, unless you're going to join me on the Sanderson Show. Stay safe, stay blessed. Kopish, you're out, people. Take care. Have a good one.